Got your ass. Got your ass. You know what it is, y'all. Thanks for joining us once again. We are Savage AF, and when I say we, I mean me. It's voices in my head, I guess. All right, man. So Savage AF, we are in the building. When I say we again, I mean me. It's just why it's a Dro solo episode. Shang's not going to be here today. So if you hate me or you're only here for Shang, first of all, fuck off. Okay. Blender hat for you. But second of all, leave now. I don't want to hear your shit or none of your bullshit. All right. It's me today. Savage AF with Black Pedro. Okay. Comedian Shang is unavailable at the moment, but we'll be back here tomorrow. We'll probably have to do a shorter show because he has he'll be somewhere. Washington, maybe, or some shit like that. Either way, you know what it is, y'all. Thank you, Nicole. Cheers to you as well. I appreciate the emojis for drinking. And thank y'all for being here. We're still Savage AF. Okay. If you think Shang is the only savage on this motherfucker, you ain't been around enough, okay? Monday through Friday, we're here live on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously, which is English for the same damn time. Mondays and Friday, we're on at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, typically. Tuesday through Thursday, we're on at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, typically. If you go to this URL, which I'm about to put up at the bottom of the screen here, it's going to scroll for y'all. Scroll, baby, scroll. YouTube.com/lowercase c, the letter, /SavageAF World, all one word. That's our YouTube channel. That's where if you don't catch us live, you can definitely, catch all the episodes archived. But when you go there to the YouTube channel, make sure you do this. Click subscribe and notify. Okay, subscribe button and then click the bell. It's really not that hard, guys. It's really not that challenge. We're talking about 2 clicks, maybe through like just a few clicks to get to the page, and then when you get to the page to the channel on YouTube, we're talking about 2 clicks, man. Subscribe, notify. That way you can stay fully tapped in, as the kids say. Okay. Hey, y'all kids are crazy, man. I don't even know what you tapping when you tap in, but you do it. All right. And then if you miss us live and you're not into the archive thing, or, maybe you don't like to look at us, maybe my magenta shirt is offensive to your visuals. So I get it. To each their own. Okay. Some of y'all motherfuckers can't pull off pastels like I can. Happy Easter, bitch. But the reality is you can catch us wherever you get your podcasts. You don't have to look at us. You can just listen. Okay. You can really, really just listen. All right. It's not a problem. You can catch us wherever you get your podcasts on all platforms: iTunes, Google Play, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and SoundCloud. I don't know what that was. All right. So here we go, man. Savage AF, we're not just a show, but we are a nation, a community, this building. Thank you all for being here. Nicole H, Christina Brown, I see you. Stacy P, I see you. Okay. Breezy JJ's, that's one of our hold 'em downs. Pamela Knox be knocking motherfuckers out here. Maya Baker, welcome back. Zenat, I see you. Okay. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's either Sean or Shion Stubbs, but either way, I see you and a hi back to you. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here, man. We appreciate it. So many ways to follow us as well. On Instagram, I'm at Black Pedro. Okay. Let me show you what your boy is doing. On the grams. Make sure you're following boo boo boo. Did I pass it? I passed it somewhere. Here we go. Bam. At comedian Shang. You see it? You see the spelling? Shang. It's not Shank or Shane. It's Shang. At Black Pedro. Spell black and then Pedro. Stab yourself if you can't spell either. All right, man. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Sharice Crawford, I see you as well. Hello, right back. AJ Fit, moving kilos, man. And when he says that, he doesn't mean drugs. He means physical weights at the gym. All right, this motherfucker is one of the biggest motherfuckers you ever seen in your life. So, moving kilos is not a drug reference. I just thought I'd clear that up for you, AJ Fit, before we get to DEA in here. That being said, y'all, Savage AF, it is November 3rd, just after an election day here in America, and it's 2021. It's a Wednesday, hump day, so do that if you're doing it. We're gonna go ahead and do the run up for y'all because we're not the kind of show that runs things down. We run up on your ass, okay? That being said, we're gonna end today's show with a Black Pedro pop in because Shang ain't here, so you can't end with a Shangri without the Shanger. It's really not possible. Today, my pop in, we're going to talk about 2A. Okay, 2A. I think that's A in sign language, but that's what we're doing, y'all. Before we get into that, boom, boom, boom. Oops, actually, I didn't change that properly. Before we get into that, pimping ain't easy. Okay, but try being an Afghani girl. Okay, it's even harder. Is the point. Before we get into that, we do have a motherfucker say what today. It's in regards to the jury selection in the Rittenhouse trial. Let's talk about it. Before we get into that though, we will talk about toxic positivity. Have you ever wanted to slap the shit out of a happy person? Let's talk about it, y'all. But before we get into that, man, again, it is Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021. I am Black Pedro. This is what we call a Dro solo episode by myself. Black Dro solo. Savage AF. But comedian Shane will be back here tomorrow. Don't trip. We're going to start off today's show, November 3rd, Wednesday, 2021. Savage AF. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. Talking about Joe and them. And them. Joe and them. And how the Democrats need to wake the fuck up, man. All right, last night we were watching the election results in New Jersey, but more specifically and more importantly in Virginia, as kind of a marker for what a swing state might look like next year in these midterm elections, and then in 3 more years in our next presidential election. And what we found is that the Democrats got their ass kicked. Terry McAuliffe lost to Youngkin, who was kind of Trump light, but found an avenue. Took a sentence or two from McAuliffe, the Democratic candidate, and flipped that shit into a victory because Democrats they don't know how to spin rhetoric, dog. They don't know how to campaign. Motherfuckers. Barack Obama was successful because he said what he needed to say, and I've said this on the show before, right? His first election, he was not for gay marriage. He wasn't. He said that marriage is between a man and a woman. Second time around, he was like, marriage is for everybody. He just said whatever he needed to say to get the fucking sector vote he needed. Understood that part. Spit game, homie. Do it. It's politics. These Dems now, though, they don't know what the fuck to do. They trying to tell the truth. Dumbasses. Stupid fucks. Trying to be honest. It's politics, dog. You don't win with honesty. You dumb shit nuggets. Okay? But anyways, for all I know, we have quite a few Virginians on the show, or those who chime in. Um, so yeah, you know, this is I'm sorry, run, flee, sell your home and your possessions and get the fuck out. Queen Bee is like sling mud. I mean, like it's a shit show. Matter of fact, bring out the girls and let's have a mud fight. It's I don't know what these Democrats are doing, but it has this loss. And okay, so that, and then I mentioned New Jersey. So Phil Murphy did eke out a victory and became the first incumbent Democratic governor to be reelected in New Jersey in a while. Okay. 20 something years, since the 90s, 93, I think. So either way, this is these should be, kind of alarms, canaries in the coal mine for Democrats, where they should be actually shitting their pants like, fuck, we about to lose all of this shit again. Part of it definitely has to do with the fact that the Democratic Party in Congress hasn't been able to pass this president Joseph Robinette Biden's agendas at all yet. Definitely hurt, but I don't think that was everything. I think Republican messaging is more effective. To be honest, I don't believe in their messaging. I don't believe in what they say. It's all bullshit, but it gets at their base. It gets at their base. Breezy JJ said they're afraid to get their hands dirty, referencing the Democrats, I believe. You're in politics, dog. It's all dirt. It's a mud pit where everybody wears really expensive suits that most Americans can't afford. But it's a dirty fight. And you really have to be in there. Maya Baker says we are too distracted with the spending bill, climate change, etc. Well, that's the thing. The distraction is the fact that they haven't been able to effectively pass legislation on any of these things, right? Which I'm sure would have helped out Terry McAuliffe in Virginia if he could have been like, okay, we got jobs for Virginians in this infrastructure bill. All right, we're gonna build highways, bridges, tunnels, things like that. Let's go, Virginia. But he didn't have anything. And instead he came out and was like, parents shouldn't be worried about or shouldn't have any say in what their schools are teaching them. And that's just like, Republicans are all about, between critical race theory and whatever junky monkey shit they want to put in their kids' heads. They're like thoroughly focused on, people have been tired of having to teach their kids for a year and a half, right? Like, it's, when you have to do your kids' homework as a parent, I think for most parents, it's when you realize, like, fuck, I'm not smarter than my child, in third grade. Like, I don't know all the answers to these questions, right? Your seventh grader, your high schooler, like, you forgot this shit. You don't know algebra anymore. Cosine, tangent. You don't know that shit anymore, dickhead. Sine, that shit is beyond your fucking comprehension at this point. You don't want to deal with that shit. But you do want to say in what your kids are taught. All right, America, we heard you. Even though you're dumb as shit and admittedly can't help your kid with homework, you want to say in what your kids are taught. So that you only want your kids taught the shit you understand. Because then when they come home, you can be like, niggers are bad. And then they get an A. But whatever. I've been drinking tonight, y'all. It's whatever. It's a new night for me. I usually don't drink during the show. But whatever, man. The reality is the Democrats are soft. We talked this a lot, but last night showed it. A state that Joe Biden, I believe, won by 16 percentage points in the election last year. As long as you're not some space crazy QAnon monkey, You understand that Joe Biden killed it in that state, and and the incoming or the governor Terry McAuliffe couldn't, or the Democratic candidate, I'm sorry, Terry McAuliffe could not follow up on that. But I agree with a lot of you here that yes, it is, and I'm sorry, like I won't. It's hard for me when I'm by myself to talk and get my points across, and be fully up on the comment section. But I'm trying to keep up. Uh, yeah, couple of trolls in the building. Always welcome. That's come hang out, babble in the corner, and we have Minister of Defense and the Sergeant at Arms that tend to handle those. So, I'll let y'all handle that. I'm gonna stick with the positive tonight because it's a frustrating time. But these Democrats need to wake the fuck up. Pramila Jayapal, a woman in voice I respect. She's the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus in the House of Representatives. She's out of the state of Washington, West Coaster. Even today, I heard her say, and this is not verbatim quote, but it was, she was like, last night, basically she was kind of like, last night isn't something we should worry about, and it shouldn't be predictive or considered predictive of, the 22 midterm. And to be honest, I was like, are you out of your goddamn mind? It was almost a motherfucker say what, but I got another motherfucker say what for you, but this is a mini motherfucker say what? Like, motherfucker say what? You don't understand that you on the verge of flipping Virginia blue, and now this is a big step backwards. And your party has a messaging problem, a connection problem. This is a big problem for the Democratic Party. I'm sorry, Madam Jayapal, but this is not something I kind of, she seemed to try and kind of shrug it off, not too nonchalantly, but I think it was one of those things like where you're trying to seem confident when you're literally shitting your pants. Like, no, we're fine. Like you're shitting is, you should be shitting yourself right now. This is not a good look for the Democratic Party or this country. Um, yeah, man. So I don't know. I feel like this current Democratic Party is in a place where they're not quite waking up and smelling the coffee. They're not quite abreast of what's going on, and they're in this place of, no, we're gonna get this bill passed, and we're gonna deliver for America. It's like y'all not doing it, and the people are looking at it and they're like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go back to the middle where I feel safe, and nothing ever progressive really gets done there. So for the Progressive Caucus, this is not progressive, right? They're not moving forward. They're not getting legislation passed, and it's not helping your party overall. Which is why a few days back I said we need 4 parties at least, because the far right and the far left are not going to connect in the middle, and the middle is the middle right now. And centrists, and I heard commentary like this today, like centrists are centrists whether they're Democrats or Republicans. I heard a Christine Todd Whitman, former governor of New Jersey, and she was saying that if you are a Republican, you should vote for a centrist Democrat over a far right MAGA candidate, and if you are a Democrat, you should vote for a centrist Republican over a leftist progressive. And herein lies the problem, because that's that's hard to do. If you on the left, you on the left, and if you on the right, you on the right. I really don't know what y'all doing in the middle, but whatever. Here we go, man. Not sure I know everything, but I know what I know. I said what I said. Yeah, man. So Joe and Dems need to wake the fuck up, because you can't live in a a false positive world. And for any of you, this will be a shameless plug right here. But for any of those who have gone to theblackpedro.com/shop and picked up Black Pedro Begins and had a chance to listen, many moons ago, years ago, I talked about a relationship I had with a young lady who, after reading this article today, I realized she was toxic positivity. Right on that album, that audio album, Black Pedro Begins, Black Pedro, theblackpedro.com, theblackpedro.com/shop. If you pick that up, man, there is a joke, a bit I have on there about being with this woman who, and this is real shit. I was going through a lot back then. This is like 2004, 5, 6, and niggas was struggling. And no matter what I came to her with, no matter what struggles or depression or sadness I came to her with, she was an after school special. She was like, "Oh, don't worry, the sun will come out tomorrow." You ever wanted to punch an orphan? Like Orphan Annie, just in her face? The sun will come out. Shut up, bitch. My life is rough. But I came across this article about toxic positivity. I was just wondering if anybody has ever had somebody like this in their life, because I feel like this is where the Democratic Party is, in a state of toxic positivity, where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get this bill passed." Oh no, Americans are gonna see how they not. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Hell is hot. This shit is deep right now. Okay, nothing is good right now. We're in a bad place. America is in a very, very bad place. So all your little positive thoughts, Joe Biden, not realizing what Joe Manchin is. You want to keep going back to that motherfucker. And like, oh no, we're gonna meet on everything's gonna be shut the fuck up. We're in a bad place, and your positivity is toxic. Okay. Nicole H says she faces it daily. Maya Baker also at work. At work only, she says. Toxic positivity. It's the people that don't, they're just like, "Oh no, that's not the way America is. I believe that if we all stick together," bitch, we're not together. We're not together. Stop. 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 Shh, 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 shut the shh. You ever just want to put your whole hand over somebody's mouth? Just shh, shh, shh. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Now, toxic positivity is something that occurs in our daily lives, right? You're depressed, you're down. You go to a friend and they're like, "Oh man, just cheer up. Ah, don't worry. Tomorrow's a new day with the same fucked up problems." Okay. Kuchidamas, I see you, brother. I'm fully awake today. Okay. I have not done any heroin today, but welcome to the show, brother. Be on time if you're gonna call me sleepy, first of all. Shoe collecting ass nigga. But I do want some of your shoes. Yeah, cheers to all y'all out there. But yeah, right now, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about toxic positivity right here. Savage AF. I'm your boy Black Pedro doing a Dro solo show. Comedian Shang will be back here tomorrow. You know how we do. But yeah, right. Like I'm not into this. I'm a stand-up comedian. Okay. I try and talk about things as real as I can. And sometimes life is real fucked up. And if you're running around here like, "Oh no, everything will be fine," and you're just trying to smell roses and chase butterflies and shit, that's you're out of your goddamn mind. I consider you to be slightly insane. Slightly insane. I really do. I really do. Um. So yeah, you know, fuck your positivity. We need reality. Okay. Toxic positivity is a denial of actuality, of reality. So what I heard from Pramila Jayapal today is what I would call toxic positivity in a political realm. And I really do respect her and the squad and the entire um, progressive caucuses, movement. And one thing she did bring up today is that, like, the agenda they've been pushing is not some far leftist movement, right? It's really they're just trying to pass Joe Biden's agenda. That's all. They're just sticking to their guns on that. They're really not pushing their own agenda right now. Uh, that's it. So, um, they're it's not this conspiracy movement thing that they haven't really even gotten into they shit. They're just trying to pass the president shit. But that being said, uh, it's not working. They're not doing it well. And I think this idea that, oh, America's gonna see, or no, we'll be Virginia last night wasn't a bit. It's not a informative. It's totally informative of where this country is heading. And then most importantly, it's informative of how, like, somebody like Youngkin um can, the governor elect of Virginia now, Republican, how their messaging is better. They're just better at selling an idea, true or not, or fake or false, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, they're selling a thing. They're playing politics. They are politic doing stuff, right? Where it's like, this is how politics are played. And Democrats are in this place of, like, trying to tell the truth or be honest or some dumb shit that has nothing to do with politics. It's like, wake the fuck up. Stop being positive about everything. Stop trying to unite and reach across the aisle and fight. I want to see that Korean, Taiwanese parliament shit where motherfuckers really go and throw chairs and water bottles at each other and shirt buttons get ripped. You know what I mean? Nobody ripping shirt buttons. And it went from 0 to 100 real quick on January 6th. But other than that, I'd rather see Congress fight itself, like, physically, than to have, a horde of cracker orcs from Middle Earth storming the Capitol. But whatever, whatever. What do I know, guys? I'm just a Negro in a magenta shirt in his living room, sipping bourbon. It's rye. Mm. All right, man. It's a lot of troll work tonight. I see y'all. I see that. It's all good though. Miss No Sick Name. They won't let me have my moment, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep taking mine right here on Savage AF Monday through Friday, live on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. Damani Jones, welcome in here. Welcome in here, brother. All right, man. So I'm gonna keep it moving. Because I actually added an extra topic for y'all tonight. Usually when I'm by myself, I go short, but tonight I decided to go long. You know what I'm saying? hit him with that. Go long. You know what I'm saying? Oh, all right. DM me, ladies. All right, so we're gonna switch up speeds a little bit and talk about. Oops, sorry. I didn't change this up properly. Boom, boom, boom. Let me do this right quick. Bam. Sladam. Clagagam. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Ta-da. Got that done. A lot of sound effects on this one. But as we move along, guys, we're gonna move along, and we're gonna ask one of the most critical questions that we ask on the show. When we ask it, it sounds like this.
Motherfucker say what? Yeah. Motherfucker say what? Say yeah, yeah, yeah.
Motherfucker say what? Kyle Rittenhouse, white boy from white America, drives through 2 white states to illegally carry a white gun. The gun wasn't colored white, but what guns are for white people. That's what America wants. Illegally, underage, carried an AR-15 across 2 state lines to Kenosha. Wisconsin, where he killed 2 people and maimed another by shooting off half of one of his arms with said AR-15. His trial has begun. Jury selection just went down. Very quick process. And within that process, okay, I heard a stat that there were 64 jurors in the pool, and 25% at the beginning were black, which would mean that would be 18, I believe. Yeah. So 18 out of 64 jurors in the pool were black. And at the end, yes, Pamela Knox, I do want you to drink tonight, girl, and every night. What you mean? What you talking about, girl? Stop playing. Why you ain't at the bar already? Mm. Mm. Drink up. So here's the thing, right? One black juror in the Rittenhouse case. 1 out of 12, which I think is like somewhere in the 8% range. So where you go from being 25% of the jury pool, now in the juror's box, black people are 8%. I don't, I think my math is somewhat close. 8 point something percent. Pamela Knox, hold your horses. If this case infuriates you now, wait till the verdict, girl. Because already we talked about last week how Judge Bruce Schroeder, he's already on. He's cracker on the bench, right? He won't let the victims be called victims, like the 2 people that Rittenhouse killed and the one he maimed. The judge will not allow them to be called victims. Okay. But he will allow the defense to call them arsonists or rioters or looters if they can so prove. And there are other caveats in there, like, but I don't believe that the prosecutors can link or can bring up Kyle Rittenhouse's links to groups like the Proud Boys, things like that, right? So, wouldn't want to taint Kyle Rittenhouse's good name as a double murderer and maimer. But on top of all of that, and as soon as it happened, the DA or the prosecuting attorney, filed a motion stating that the defense had, negated many jury candidates strictly based on their race, on them being black. The defense saying that no, they just, cancel those people out based on their answers on the questionnaire. Question number 1 is probably like, do you hate crackers? And most niggas are gonna be like, yeah. Right? Nah, I prefer bread with my cheese. See what I did? Yeah, but that being said, even the judge, Bruce Schrader himself, was like, this does seem obvious, but nothing I can do about it. Just very, very typical cracker answer. Right? It's like Bitch McConnell being like, well, obviously Donald Trump started a riot at the Capitol. It's just that ain't my job to be prosecuting him about that. Okay. I have other legislation to hold up. Yeah, so I'm proud to be American says the defense didn't strike any of those jurors, but based on the motion of the prosecution, it seems like they did. And I would assume neither of us were actually in court, but from what I heard and saw, the prosecution filed motions that stated that that the defense struck a lot of jurors based on race. It wasn't upheld, so whatever. Victory for Crackertown, but hey, man, this is what it is. But anyways, all of this is leading to you said they didn't strike many of those jurors. It seems like they did. It really does. Okay. But that being said, um, it's all leading up to, I think, this setup that will ultimately infuriate, frustrate Pam Knox. Um, that's that's just what it is. Like, babe, they gotta a pro killer judge who's like, hey, these ain't victims. They just bullet catchers. I don't, whether you deserved it or not. Like, if somebody breaks into my house, and I shoot them or whatever, they're gonna be a victim of my gun. Yeah, that don't mean they didn't deserve to be a victim, but they still a victim of. They will still be I will victimize your ass if you come here. Like, you can still be a victim. Like, even if you wrong for getting shot, like, even if you should be shot, you're still a victim of being shot. Like, you feel, does anybody feel me on that? Right? Like, it's like you don't. I don't know, man. I never shot nobody. I don't know. Anyways, this is all leading up to a Pam Knox goes ape shit at the mall one day because she gonna hear, the verdict at the Target and not be prepared. And Pam Knox, I'm just trying to prepare you, baby, that listen, girl. They are setting this thing up to go anywhere from vindicating Kyle Rittenhouse's actions to minor slap on the wrist. Um, and Ronald Ewan Humphrey corrects me, involuntary bullet catchers. Exactly. Maybe the defense should, or the prosecution, I'm sorry, should get a little more creative then and working around the word victim. Involuntary bullet catchers, IBCs, sounds good to me. you know I don't think most of us are voluntary bullet catchers, right? Unless you Bruce Leroy and then you got the glow, but it's only when you have the glow. Don't be doing that shit when you non-glowing. You got to have a clear golden aura about you that motherfuckers can see. And then, like, DeBarge needs to start saying, "You are the last dragon." You know what I mean? That kind of shit. All right, man. So, I this shit is frustrating. And we all feel you, Pam Knox, on your frustrations regarding this case that is Kyle Rittenhouse floating across the country with a gun illegally. It's just like the boy he's not even allowed legally to carry that gun, let alone go across 2 states with it and then end up killing 2 people. Like, that's not how this works, right? Like, am I tripping? Is it just me? So this is like an open shut thing for me. I don't know. Kid not supposed to have a gun in a place where he doesn't live, ends up killing 2.5 people. The fuck are we talking about here? The fuck are we talking about? But many legal analysts have pointed it out that it's going to come down to this argument of self-defense, right? So, the individuals, the individuals that came out that Rittenhouse shot, they were chasing him, right? Like, they believed he was an active shooter, and they were trying to stop him. In turn, Rittenhouse felt threatened and popped off on these motherfuckers, right? So it's going to come down to self-defense. This will be a Zimmerman Martin thing, right? Like, who was right, who was wrong. Obviously, Kyle Rittenhouse is the George Zimmerman in this situation, where it shouldn't even been out there with a gun at all. But at the end of the day, we'll see what this one black juror, along with 11 white jurors, comes up with. Pam Knox, brace in, girl. I don't know what you use to relax, mama, but edibles or If you're still on flowers or gin and juice, whatever you need. But I'm gonna need you to calm down, baby, because this gonna hurt. This gonna hurt. I'm just calling it now that Rittenhouse is probably gonna get the break that none of us would, none of us should, and he certainly should not either. But we know how America is, man. It's a pimp game out here, baby, and pimping ain't easy. But try being an Afghani girl. That's where we are now, America. By the way, we are Savage AF. Fuck your feelings is our motto. Facts matter. Um, I'm Black Pedro. Comedian Shang will be back here tomorrow. We're live, YouTube, Facebook, simultaneously. All right, so I'm gonna move on, man, because we could talk Rittenhouse for a while and get really really mad for a while. But the reality is, there's so much more going on in this world. Ladies, this one's for you. I don't know if you realize this, ladies, but in between your legs, right now, there's that old adage, right? What's the oldest profession on the planet? You're sitting on it, ladies, right? The oldest profession on the planet, ladies, you are sitting on it. That means I don't care what your age is, ladies. You have the oldest product on the planet in between your legs right now. You are sitting on it. So it's hot, it's sweaty. Some of y'all are stinky. Some of y'all are just so clean and pristine. Love it. All right. But either way, it's the hottest product on the planet always. Human trafficking still goes on. Most of it is women, young girls, being trafficked around this planet. One place where it's happening in particular right now, in large degrees, is the country we just vacated, Afghanistan, after over 20 years there of Maya Baker. Don't say ew. I need you to grow up, baby. Okay? Whatever you got down there, girl, it's for sale. Well, I mean, it's sellable, I should say. I didn't mean to put your thing on the market. My bad. But let's understand that vagina is the oldest product on the planet, as they say. And right now in Afghanistan, in order to settle debts, um, either amongst each other or with the Taliban or things like that, that Afghani men are selling their daughters, sisters, cousins, things like that. They're selling familial vagina, pussy, as it's called in my neighborhood, um, to settle debts. So our vacation from Afghanistan has created a pimp bazaar, basically. And unfortunately, as we all feared and knew and totally foreseeable, women have become the chattel, the meat at the market that's hanging from the thing with the flies around it. Sorry for the visual, but I need you to see it like that. That young girls, young women are being sold to settle debts. They are credit boosters, Experian pussy right now. Purple cows with John Cena riding on the back. Sorry, John Cena, I didn't mean to drag you into this, brothers. Get your money. But the reality is that's what's going on in Afghanistan, a country I've been to twice to entertain the troops. I've never seen poverty like this in my life. And that's hard to say when you're from the east side of Detroit. Like, I never seen motherfuckers broker than they were in Afghanistan. And then to understand now that, these young girls are being used as collateral, um, basically to pay off debts and loans and things like that. Man, this is a sad situation. They say it's hard for a pimp, but extra hard for these hoes, man. Come on, bro. So this is, and understand vagina is in jeopardy in America, Texas, right? Vagina is in jeopardy here. But in Afghanistan, this is like, the extreme expression of it, where it just becomes currency. Like, I'm making up shit now, but like Titcoin or whatever, right? It's like some new crypto, uh, kind of clito. That was that too much? I'm sorry. um, this is stupid. Like, trolls are stupid, man. I can't even address this dumb shit. All right. Yes, y'all. So let me know what y'all think about that, about women becoming, and please have something relevant to say. It'd be better. But this is a global masculine movement where dudes are feeling themselves, and it's here in America, right? Dudes are like, nah, this pussy is ours, and we gonna run it the way we want to. And then we see it on the other end of the scale in the country like Afghanistan, completely underdeveloped, especially relative to anything, but especially relative to us. But the idea, the mentality is the same thing, right? I've said this before on the show. The highest human trafficking event annually is the Super Bowl. The National Football League, in addition to hosting a great game that everybody loves to watch, is also the host of the highest amount of human trafficking at one event at one time annually. The NFL doesn't just sell you touchdowns and beer, and they sell vagina in Baltimore, Detroit, Tampa, wherever the fucking LA, wherever the fucking thing is going to be, the Super Bowl. The NFL is also selling pussy. I'm not saying that it's motherfucking Roger Goodell in a goddamn raccoon coat with a monocle and a pearl cane or some shit. But I'm saying around that event, around that product called the National Football League, they slanging that thing you sitting on, ladies, the oldest product on the planet, right? And if we talk about sex being the oldest, then we're talking about pussy, okay? That's what we're talking about. When I say that prostitutes, the selling pussy is the oldest profession on the planet. We know what the adage is. Stop being stupid out there, okay? And ladies, you're sitting on it. The oldest product, the golden mango, okay? I'm a copyright that. All right, man. So here we go. I just wanted to keep y'all up on that, keep y'all abreast on vagina. You know what I'm saying? That that now girls in Afghanistan have been turned into currency to pay off debts. And we're back to that in 2021. We're in 2021. We are aware of girls being sold as payments. Want to make sure y'all was okay with that or not okay. Go ahead and speak on it. Savage AF is the show, y'all. Fuck your feelings is our motto. Facts matter. I'm Black Pedro. Drove solo tonight, man. Comedian Shang, you are missed, brother, but we will see you tomorrow. He'll be with us live from, I think, Washington, Tacoma. I think. It could be wrong. It's hard to keep up. But as we do move along in this show, I'm going to end y'all with a little something like this.
Hey, 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 it's your boy Black Pedro, popping in, hey, 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 with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'.
Hey, it's your boy Black Pedro with another popping to let you know what's popping. I know y'all wondering, like, how do I CGI myself out of the show and then just CGI myself back in? It's really, I just really just lean over. It's more like a analog special effect, not digital. Oh, that being said, guys, my Black Pedro pop in today is it's about 2A. For those who don't know what that means, it is a reference, a shorthand reference to the Second Amendment. Okay. If you've been with me on this journey, then all of you know that I became a gun owner last year in response to a heavy uh, sort of increase in ritsation or saltinism. I decided to arm myself. Right. I live in a state, California, that has some of the most restrictive gun laws. So like my AR-15 has a fin on the handle, and it's weird grips and only a certain amount of rounds you can hold in your magazines. Yeah, it's we're not Texas or Florida where you can go bird hunting with a goddamn rocket launcher or whatever. Like, no. But even that being said, recently the Supreme Court, SCOTUS of the United States, seems to be leaning towards the banning of New York and California gun laws that would be more restrictive in obtaining a concealed carry license, right? Which would allow which would allow most citizens to carry concealed weapons on them at all times in any given situation. What I found troubling was Justice Alito, who, and I'm reading from the Los Angeles Times, and this is a quote from Justice Alito. He says, "Think about people who work late at night in Manhattan. It might be somebody who cleans offices. It might be a doorman in an apartment. It might be a nurse or an orderly or somebody who washes dishes, who is scared to death to head home. How is it consistent with the core right to self-defense to deny that person the right to have a gun with them?" Right? I see your logic. I see your logic. Doesn't mean I think it's logical. Because especially I think New York is a bad example, right? Where it's this extremely densely populated city. And I know he gave examples of, people going home late at night, but even late at night in New York on some given nights, I mean, there's just a lot of people on the streets. It's not like LA. Like in New York, you can get into a traffic jam on foot and just be on the sidewalk and like not able to walk anywhere because there's people everywhere and you're just shoulder to shoulder bumping into motherfuckers, right? It's like being on the 405 in LA, except you're not wrapped in this steel bucket with windows and things around you, right? It's just you on the streets. So let's say in New York, two people get, just this. I always understood why New York has strict gun laws because, like, if people in New York could just conceal carry and start popping off at each other, like, because there's no requirements in America with concealed carrying to like train properly or anything like that, right? For the most part, so like if motherfuckers are just carrying in New York and start popping off at each other, and you miss, you're going to hit everybody else and anybody else, right? Like there's gonna be a bunch of people around. Bullets go far. Like somebody else an innocent bystander is probably gonna get hit in the New York shootout because there's just too many people around, right? But they want to apply this law for both urban and rural and all American citizens that most Americans should be able to conceal carry. And I got to say that as a gun owner in America, I completely disagree with that. Like most of you motherfuckers should not have guns. Are not responsible. You're not taking it serious enough. You're not training. You're not doing anything to actually be good at shooting. But we want to fight for these non-good shooters to be able to carry a gun anytime, anywhere, concealed. It doesn't make sense. Maya Baker, you're right. Arizona. Well, I don't know if you're absolutely right, but I know Arizona's concealed carry it works in a lot of other states. Also, Utah is another concealed carry license that will work in most states. Not California, but if you tend to travel around the country a lot or whatever, and you want to be able to carry, I know that Utah is a great place to get one. That being said, we don't require the amount of training that I think allows or vindicates anybody having one here in America, for the most part. Yeah, AJ Fit, we only have 10 round magazines, sir. They are not called clips. Okay, that's hip hop infecting your mind right now. My training has taught us they're called magazines, not clips. A clip is something that you would use to clip a magazine onto your belt. But yes, 10-round magazines are all we are allowed here in California. Not that I want to go shooting off 100 fucking rounds in 13 seconds or whatever. Hey, I'm not, that's not what I'm really up to. But Damani Jones knows what I'm talking about. He says, yep, New York is a bad spot for that. You can't, I don't think you, like New York City, you can't have a bunch of motherfuckers like concealed carry there legally, untrained and ready to pop. New York is this highly aggressive city. Like the way people talk to each other, the way people act around each other. Bro, you cannot pass out guns to those like and concealed carry licenses. Like it I don't know what these justices are thinking, or if they're thinking. I get it, to a right to bear arms, but yeah, I don't know. This concealed thing is different, right? Because people pop off at each other and then somebody pull out, and it's like maybe open carry, maybe allow open carry in New York, and everybody's just walking around with bazookas on their shoulder and got the fucking 50 cal bullets on their chests, and maybe everybody would be a lot nicer in New York. Like, oh, were you in line? Or yeah, because in New York they'd be like, "Fuck out my way." But if you just if you had a motherfucking Rambo hookup like on your person, the motherfuckers might be like, "After you, sir." Right, right this way. Thank you. All right, man. So that's my pop in for today. Is that as much 2A as I am, sure, bear arms, but there should be tests and training you have to go through, and everybody carrying a concealed weapon across America is it's probably the worst idea since letting Europeans in. like Native Americans, y'all should have bow and arrowed the fuck out these niggas the second you saw them. So other than letting Europeans settle here, giving them all guns that they can conceal at Trader Joe's is probably the next worst idea that America could ever have. Is let's take these highly paranoid, xenophobic Europeans and just let them all hide motherfucking weapons underneath their North Face jackets. That's amazing. I don't know why we would do that. Anyways, that's what it is, y'all. Savage AF for today. I almost did a whole hour by myself, guys. I feel good. Feels like I'm growing up, man. That's awesome. Thanks for riding with me, guys. I really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back here tomorrow, Thursday, November 4th. It will be. We'll be here at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Might be a shorter show, or Shane might have to dip out. Maybe I'll go longer. I don't know. That's why you got to tune the fuck in, okay? Make sure you are on youtube.com/c/SavageAFWorld, all one word. And make sure you're up on us, all right? Not physically, because I have spatial issues. But other than that, yeah, get with us, y'all. Get with us. Damani Jones, you're glad you're in Texas? Well, you obviously don't have a vagina. And if you're black, I would reconsider that as well. But good luck, brother. Good luck. We will see y'all tomorrow. Savage AF. That's what it is for tonight. Listen, guys, I want you to stay armed. I want you to stay trained. But most importantly, I want you to stay keeping your finger out of your nose.